Is this it?
This is it!
Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing. Let's go!
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all he needs. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to Link ECU.
Backdrop. There is not a cloud in the sky, but we're going to make some of our own. This is round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We are here at Utah Motorsports campus, just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. We're kicking things up. Here we go. So Ryan Literal will lead. Ryan's chasing it down.
Frederick Osbo doing what Frederick Osbo does, which is lay down a perfect lead run.
Osbo cannot be shaken.
Yeah.
The track's really fun to drive. Really challenging. Zones are challenging.
He's grinding the door. He's banging on it. Does he answer?
Keep pushing. Yeah, he has his throttle up right before he grabs the handbrake.
Applies pressure. Big angle on the top door. Kind of overshoots that inside clip. Oh, and Chelsea Denofa goes off. Chelsea Denofa gets the win. We are elevated. We are high elevation drifting. Utah Motorsports Campus playing host to the Type S Elevated, as we branded it, presented by AutoZone. This is a double-header weekend. Well, not double-header technically, but we see PROSPEC and we see Pro. We see seating brackets today. It is an action-packed, all-killer, no filler from Thursday to Saturday. Notably, tomorrow, a champion will be crowned in the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. Here we are at UMC. I am your tour guide alongside, I'm Jared Dienda. Next to me is Mr. Matt Sopa. Sopa and Ropa down on the start line normally joins me here, and we're going to put an exclamation point on what I would call a great season of PROSPEC.
Yeah, we got a real barn burner here coming here, not only through the seating bracket, but tomorrow. We're 2-point difference here between number 1 and number 2. Canada, America, you were saying just before we got on here, it's going to be a real treat.
2 points.
2
points. 70, Austin Mata, you know, could finish top 3 and 74 points behind that of TLO. But there we take a look at the stats overall. Connor O'Sullivan, Tommy Lemaire, Joshua Love, just met his mom earlier. What a sweet lady. Austin Mata, and then, I think that was, it's a little messed up there. But Amanda Sorensen, she made a lot of noise. Being the first ever female to podium in Formula Drift history. That was really cool.
Yeah, especially in Englishtown, where it's our first stadium there.
Yeah.
Drift stadium. Yeah, super cool here. As we look at the stats here, and a lot of big hitters here. And I always like using that sleeper cell concept where you never know, someone could just like come out of nowhere and take it all the way to the podium.
And that's this track. As we're laying down the lines here, we're kind of transforming it, and it's transformed over the years. UMC playing host of Nitro Cross. People are like, is that a jump? I'm like, yeah, that's a jump. We're going to use that in October when we come back here for Nitro Cross. But this has been the season so far. Look at this. Tommy Lemaire came out swinging because this is a gentleman who took time off. He stepped away from Formula Drift, came back, and just looked nasty. And it's just always part of the conversation. Then you look at O'Sullivan, new cars with RTS, ATI, it seems really polished. His program looks, tight. He's really focused. His posturing, everything that, and here he is leading the pack, but again, only 2 points behind.
Yeah, it's true. O'Sully there, he's ready. He wants to go pro. I think he mentioned that back in New Jersey, and he's just ripping and roaring, ready to go here to make that happen.
Yeah, he says, all right, well, on the box, I said, hey man, what are you gonna do? He's like, if everything works out, and if I win this championship, I'm going pro.
Absolutely.
Which, and the adjustments to the track. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What's the consensus of the drivers? What are the murmurs? What are the chirps?
Murmur.
Yeah.
So,
what are the chirps?
Yeah, we started here at the butt crack of dawn when the track was pretty cold. I felt like the cars weren't a little loose yet. I think they kind of learned that. But now the track temperatures come up, so we're playing that battle with the cars and the grip and stuff. So taking a look at our Grantsville, Utah here, outer zone 1 is now kind of changed. We're going wider. The start line is also moved up, so it's a shorter run up versus the last couple years. And so we're a little smoother going into outer zone 2, filling that probably 150 feet of outer zone 2, and then we want a smooth transition from 2 into 3. A lot of guys kind of were leaving it a little earlier in practice here. We're going to see that, and then finish it out through outer zone 3 all the way in there.
And Matt, notably, and for all the fans watching, if you can see that green line, that's the ideal line, right?
Right.
It's very flowy. You can see that we exceed the actual red and white rumble strip of the track. There's no rumble strip where they go and exceed that, but you'll see it denoted by that outside box, that kind of outside zone box right there. So you can see actually that white line. That's the edge of what the judges are requesting of the drivers to go. And again, another thing that was brought up in the drivers' meeting is the goal of a tighter tandem, better flow. That's the intention there of giving them kind of more runoff or more track to play with.
Right, because we removed that inner clip 1, so whenever you do that, it removes kind of a choke point for the chase driver, and it's going to allow us to have more of an S-curve going in from 1 to 2 there. So speaking of our judge notes here and our seating, we want some clean and precise initiations. Move that car with intent, I like to say. Fill all those zones, get at least a tire in there, and back on throttle after transitions. I want to see a lot of handbrake to get that car rotated. I see a lot of that in practice. People would be mid-rotation and then kind of grab handbrake. It just disrupts the car and doesn't look as smooth as it could be.
Make it look flowy, get on the side of that lead car, and if you're out front, just run like you got that clean air and just put it out there.
Yeah.
With it being all outside zones, I think this is going to it's going to create some calamity too.
Yeah.
Because horsepower difference, tires, and also another thing to bring up is it's like a shuffleboard. Like shuffleboard doesn't have a lot of slickness, but when you throw that salt on there, and the salt being the dirt, it causes the car to slide quite a bit. So right now, not windy, but the afternoon it does get windier here. Here we are in the in the valley, in the plains. So
right.
It just Mother Nature can change the dynamics of the track quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to all outer zones, it really promotes really good tandems as well. So it kind of gives the lead driver a little more freedom to where they want to transition, and how fast. So the chase driver's got to be on the ball to do that.
Absolutely. So we are getting set. We are making sure the track is clean, prepped, and the lines are laid as we take a look at our seating bracket. Overall, again, Dustin Miles gets a bye run. He will be automatically advancing on to the 16. So again, break down, because this is a new format, seating bracket. How does it work here? Because we're just going to have one and done, as opposed to pro seating. We go all the way down to a winner. You just want to be in that 16, but what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so we're basically limiting 16 drivers so that we can seed that bottom half of the 32 for the people that are already in that.
Yep. So we have 16 drivers pre-seeded.
Yep.
We backfill with the 16 who advance on. So Dustin Miles and Farouk Kawai are advancing on the 16. They'll have, again, automatic fast pass there, locked and loaded for tomorrow's main event. Taking a look, it looks like Mr. Love is on the line. See Rahimi back there with his K car. Yeah, a couple different vehicles back there, getting prepped and ready to go. All right, looks like we are getting ready to send and pulling them up into the burnout box.
Here we go.
Yep, so here we go, our link engine management, top 32. So Melvasio and Josh Love. Is Melvasio in the building? Not seeing him in the burnout box. Do we have a double?
I don't think so. You know, speaking of that, I don't think I've seen him in practice today, so that's going to be a bye run for Josh Love. So we mentioned Dustin Miles and Farouk got bye runs, so since they got bye runs on, that we don't have to perform or prove that the car works, so they get a little more time to dial. But Mr. Love here will have to prove that his car works at a bye run.
Yeah, because it's just how the seating worked.
Because there's a name there in the other box.
All right, so Melvasio is out, so this will be an automatic fast pass for Josh Love to get into 32. So let's lay out and listen. Congratulations to him. And again, Josh Love will advance on. Like you said, the drivers that were already dictated having bye runs, they do not have to complete their run. So lay out and listen. Round 4 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Jared Dienda, Matt Sopa, and we'll bring in Mr. Jacob Gettens for Pro, and of course, Lorette Nickel will be joining us for some sideline reporting. But again, notably, we will have a 2024 Link Engine ProSpec champion here tomorrow. So Joshua Love, who loves drifting. You gotta love some Joshua Love.
Yeah, he's showing it how it's done. I was going to mention that, but we're going to give a little hear the engine roar. And yeah, that's good. I think
R.I.P. those tires. Moment of silence for the tires. Yeah. Because he zip tied that throttle down, dude. And he got out of snips right there as he crossed the finish line. But walk us through, because it's a good example of using
I felt, he did a great job of the initiations. Nice and snappy straight up. Filled out over zone, almost overcooked it. Came out a little bit early, but it was a good transition into the outer zone 2 here as he flies through a little left foot brake in there. As you can see the smoke from the right front there. Doing a great job. Car looks nice and stable. Good transition there. And outer 3, just playing with that custom, that corner, that rumble strip, and filling outer zone 3 all the way through to the finish. Textbook from Mr. Love here. We'll see him tomorrow. That was great.
that was a really good example of lead run. Now we're going to see our first chase run here of, again, new track layout, again, flowy, no inside clips, 3 outside zones. Pretty straightforward, but sometimes when you're given so much room for activities,
that's the thing.
It's like E-Town, right? I mean, obviously a little more dynamic, but...
Yeah, I was just thinking of that before we get to that battle. Hopefully I can sneak this in here, but when there's like no walls, it kind of, some kind of sneak up, do it, maybe manipulate it, but now you're going to see who can use that type of thing.
Here we go, Havoc and Alan Boss man coming in. All right, so again, looks like Jace is leading. Jace in the S chassis. Oh, and Boss falls back quite a bit there. Jace continues on. Havoc into that second outside zone. Look at the attitude of the car. The car is just digging in. I mean, you could just see it literally just pointing to the sky, long on that outside zone, across the finish line. Very dominant by Jace, and unfortunately, Alan Boss having some trouble in the back.
Well, I hate to. I think Jace did like a double initiation.
Okay.
Just let's check it out. Let's run the tape back. I feel like he did a big bobble, and I think the judges might hopefully saw that as well. We'll take a closer look here once we switch it up. But
no, we're here for the dialogue again. I'm looking to our location.
Yeah, that window.
Naked eye, and then we switch the screen. So,
so check it out.
Take a look. What do you think?
It looked like the car gripped up, and he had to kind of reinitiate, which kind of made Boss. He was right there, and then he had to make a change right there.
Oh, there you go.
Straightened up. Did that? It almost caused him to over-rotate. Will the judges consider that as a deficit that Boss could not overcome?
Yeah, he impeded in the natural flow. Yeah, so it comes out of drift. Oh yeah. I love that. That truth serum camera, that just absolutely told a different story again. And that's what I love about it. Like at first glance, I've definitely made some mistakes announcing, but then when you run it back and you get to look at it with our Air Force replay,
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Because I was like kind of dialed in on Jace.
Right.
You know, we got this new outer zone 1 going, and I kind of want to see how he's going to treat it. And looks like Alan Boss might be calling a 5 here. But going back to Habich's run there, I was just focused on that. And I kind of saw that happen live, and unfortunately, Boss had really nowhere to go. Max, our start guy for PROSPEC, is talking to Boss.
His mom is spotter over here. Is he going to call a comp timeout? He's feeling okay?
We're not sure yet.
Right, no conversation here. Boss is going to swing it around, maybe.
Call me maybe.
All right, here we go, pulling back up. So Boss pulls back to the line. He will lead. And like you said, Jay's kind of impeded on his first line on that first run there. Initiated, came out of it, straightened out. But we'll see how the judges take that into consideration for the outcome of this battle.
I feel like Max is taking a little gander at that 350Z.
Give him a little tire pull, thumbs up from our starter.
Things are square, eyeball alignment.
Tires are round, they're not square. Just FYI.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, just clarifying. All right, looks like. Oh, looks like he is.
So we're going to get a competition timeout from Boss here. And next battle against Stewart Kennedy.
Mom Boss over here just yelled at me. He's calling a 5. He's calling a 5. Competition timeout for Mr. Boss.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live for Mr. Boss. And so I think he found out that his round tire might have been square. You said they were square.
Yeah, I think Max put his thumb up. He's like,
I know.
Take a look at it, buddy. You got it.
I'm for against it.
That's another cool thing about the seating bracket is that for the seating bracket days, they get a competition timeout, and then they get an additional one for the actual bracket.
Yes.
The competition.
The actual true head-to-head competition day.
Yeah.
So again, this hopefully, again, take into consideration as they go into the GT Radial burnout box. This being the PROSPEC Championship, every driver running Link Engine Management, every driver running GT Radial tires. All right, into the double bob, the burnout box. Joshua Stewart and Z Kennedy. Taking a look at the stats here, Mr. Stewart and Z Kennedy. See the stats fairly equally paired up. Stewart making a lot of noise. Z as well, both on and off the track. A dynamic driver, stunt driver. I mean, she's got quite a resume. And
yeah, very busy.
Yeah, very busy gal. All right, here we go. So Stewart will lead. Z Kennedy will give chase. Once the lights extinguish, they leave the start line. All right, a slow roll, but lights him up off the start line. Z Kennedy is allowed to leave the start line prior. Both of them initiating about the same time. Good job. Goes over the track a little bit there for Stewart, but Z Kennedy bathing in the smoke on that second outside zone. Let's see how they handle this. Looks like Z a little bit shallower line, then a little bit more than Stewart. Now coming down into this last outside zone 3. Z Kennedy tries, kind of forgoes the outside zone, shortens it up, and tries to get that proximity. But it's fast track, man. That outside zone 2 and 3, I mean, you're on it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of real estate there. So we forgot to mention that for this course, 3 tires off is going to be already complete. So he was flirting with 2 there as he gets through auto zone 1, and Kennedy trying to reel him back in as he, flirts with auto zone 2 or outer zone 2 and gets back in late in the game here. Kennedy's still trying to play catch up here as he gets into outer zone 3, and Stewart leaves early again and gives Kennedy an opportunity to catch up, but she just didn't have enough muster there to seal the deal. So we took another look at our airforce.com replay. That Corvette swinging it in there did a good job. I like the aggression there with the angle there, almost overcooked it, but he did draw a good line there from outer zone 1 to 2. Kennedy just looks like not sure what she could have done different, to be honest. That Corvette looks like it's just ripping and tearing that course up, and she's a little blinded by the smoke there as they go through into outer zone 3 and finish the course. So yeah,
statistically it said they're about 100 horsepower difference. That could make or break, and given maybe sandbagging a little bit there, or maybe,
whoa,
hey, it just spade's a spade, man.
That's a pretty bold move.
A bold move, Cotton.
Bold claim.
Yeah, you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. So as we are now going to see Z Kennedy out front, and Stewart, there you go, pulls up. Great looking vet. As Z Kennedy now will get the clean air. And we'll see if that, again, that horsepower difference maybe will shake things up. Stewart should be on the back of Z, but now, since she's out front, let's see if she can place the car in the right places. Again, that chase position, she didn't really fill those outside zones. We'll see if Stewart can do better. Oh boy. Oh, really, yeah, just at quick glance, was definitely to that right side going off, but great angle from Z Kennedy, now making up for a lost track here. And Stewart, like I said, oh, buddy, Stewart gets aggressive. And Stewart goes way too hard in outside zone 3, has to back off.
Now,
that is not what you want to do.
Now, if that was in fact 3 wheels off, that would have been incomplete. The run technically would have been over there if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so let's rewind that tape once again and see if we can get some truth serum out of this camera, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Z Kennedy coming out of the chicane there, whipping that S chassis into play here as we go in outer zone 1. There's 1, 2, and that third one, I think that's all she wrote there, literally. So, yep, I'm getting the 3 fingers there from Eggert as he agrees with me that it was 3 off. So that's going to be the end of her run, making it incomplete, and any mistakes made after that are null.
Yeah, she continued on through the course, but that's definitely going to affect you as a chase driver. You're like, where are you going? I'm not following you, dude.
And it kind of goes back to what I was trying to say earlier. When you don't have these walls that kind of guide you, and we do have markers out there to try and help them through these zones, and it is a new zone. It really kind of separates who can find that fine line of control in their car and know where it is and place it on the track where it needs to be. So let's take another look at this 1, 2, 3 tires off here. So good initiation. I like the angle she's pouring on there. I thought she was going to be shallow coming into through the tire, but then it kind of just washed out a little bit. You can see that front right out of the outside of the zone there for a good 50, 70 feet probably. So that's going to be it for Kennedy's weekend, I believe. Very unfortunate. You know, she really put it together, but yeah, because after that it was pretty good.
It was decent, and then Stewart, like you said, you know, had nowhere to go. So, all right, so Stewart gets the win. Josh Stewart gets the win. Z Kennedy unfortunately knocked out. But I think she's made a lot of noise. Like I said, both on and off the track, her activations, you know, the LGBTQ plus, you know, like basically that whole scene and everything going on there. It's pretty rad. So definitely stoked for her and what she's got going on and off the track. So Brandon McDowell. What a driver, and Rahimi.
Yeah, this was one of those battles I was
going to point out. This is going to get wild, man.
2 turbo LS 350Z, or 370Zs, excuse me. Well, I think they're Zs, okay? They're both turbocharged fed LS and a little bit of wild cards behind the wheels.
Yeah, these this should be fun, man. And again, he was on Outer Zone podcast with Jacob, and he's always a wild one. But McDowell, I'm expecting a big run from McDowell. Oh, look at this massive! Oh boy!
Whoa! I know there's a finish line, but it's not a race. Okay.
These guys, oh man, big tank slappers. Human over.
Wait, was it a restart?
McDowell says, was it a restart? I don't think so. Was that a restart? No. Okay, it was a clean start, so we are getting clarification here that was not a restart, just
it's an oopsie.
Human made a mistake. Brandon overcooked it. He straightened out.
Chicken or the egg? What happened here first? So Human had a very interesting tactic there in the chase position going into this. I was kind of awestruck by that and how wide he went. Usually want to go on the inside of the pocket, but he might have bumped him out of action there.
Yeah, did not see that, and it looked like Brandon got slapped.
So it looks like we've got contact with an incomplete, and if that's so, then they have to ascertain fault here. Yeah, you can see it disrupt there. See it kind of squat down in the back of Brandon's car.
Yeah, most definitely. That overhead, you saw it. So Human came in too hot, hits that back left side of Brandon McDowell that causes him to spin. So that's going to be, I mean, at first glance, looked like it's Human's fault.
Right. And if Brandon wants to fix his car, he'll get a 10 minutes. And if Human wants to look at his car, he'll have to take his competition timeout. Max is going to find out what he wants to do here.
And sounds like
kind of looks like
all right,
they're going to
run it. They're good. Said let's go ahead.
Let's dance.
Get after it. All right. Let's take a look. Second run here, Human now out front, and haven't officially heard if Human is at fault or Brandon impeded but I have to say again at first glance, Rahimi now out front into that first outside zone. Brandon McDowell, very shallow line. Hooman using all the course, but Brandon coming out of drift, like really struggling to keep it sideways. Not once, but twice. So Brandon maybe down on power, way shallow.
And remember, there's no one more times here in the seating bracket, so kind of, the needle was wavering his way.
Yeah, unfortunate there for, I mean, I assume he has an advantage if Hooman was at fault, but Brandon just.
Yeah, look at Hooman just light was radio. A little shallow at first, then flirting with 3 off, but it was technically still on course. A deficit, no doubt, but Brandon there is just kind of a little bit of failure to launch here as he's getting some school buses put on by Rahimi here as he fills out outer zone 3, and McDowell super shallow there, trying to make up some ground. Not sure what happened there. But the big thing is Hooman caused the incomplete on the first run, in my eyes. And will the judges see that as well? We'll see which way they decide here.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe the contact, banged up his car unassumingly, or.
But did Brandon have a chase run that was incomplete? Would that deemed incomplete? I'm not entirely sure if that's at the judges.
Yeah, we'll get the judges on the horn here. Big Vern got Robin Ishida. Vernon's back in the building, and Mr. Reese taking a break off this round. We'll see him back at Irwindale, and then Brian Egger once again. All right, waiting for the outcome here, and maybe we'll get an explanation or find out. And looks like the scores are coming in. The verdict from our 3 judges. This is one of those ones where we, contact, it's a bummer. And then Brandon in that chase, it's a bummer, but somebody's got to move on here. All right, so Hooman Rahimi looks like does get the victory, even out. Oh, look at that. So 2-1. So Robin Ishida actually sided with Brandon McDowell.
Let's get Robbie on there. Let's see what he had to say.
Yeah. Robbie sided with Brandon. Sided with Brandon. Hooman had that contact, but Brandon had a lackluster chase position. But you still sided with Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, it split where Brandon was late on throttle when he got hit from Hooman, and the 2 of the judges put it on Brandon for the contact, and that was probably the biggest split point. I kind of put it on Hooman, where it was kind of early on at the outside zone 1, and maybe he could have backed off a little bit, but then that's probably the split point right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So again, split decision here. Looks like Vernon and Brian putting the blame on Brandon impeding in his line, and then Hooman Rahimi maybe too aggressive, or obviously too aggressive. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Brandon, maybe what Robbie's seen is he didn't see him come on throttle where he needed to.
And so taking a look at the overall track, again, there are some natural decel areas when you go to initiate. The car's going to obviously naturally slow down, due to it being sideways.
Right, like especially at initiation, and usually they're right before the zones, like after the transitions and stuff.
So, by the way, Hooman Rahimi gets the win, 2-1, split decision. So Hooman Rahimi gets the victory. Lichliter and Lewis Lanz. Oh, sorry, this is the second run of Habich and Alan Voss. So if you remember, Voss, whoa, where's Voss going way? That was way off course. We'll get that overhead view. Now coming to second, man, look, a lot of left foot brake. You see that front right, using, wow, getting thrown up the dirt, staying in it, goes way off course. And I think that was a smart move by Jace, but Voss really having some struggles.
Doing some landscaping.
Yep. Digging a trench.
Yeah, let's take another look at this run with Boss out front here. Kind of goes way course left and then really overcooks it. That's 1, 2, 3. So that's incomplete starting there, Jared, as we look into this as go into outer zone 2. So everything after is kind of just for show here as Habich is you know, kind of trying to reel him in. Probably didn't know that he was incomplete at that point, but that's no worries here as he gets, like you said, dig some trench, and Boss is in the dirt there with Habich in their little sandbox.
That's hard to fight back from that, man. I mean, he was absolutely buried in that dirt. So here's a look at Jace up front. This is the replay earlier.
So was this one? Yeah, this was where we kind of debated whether that was an incomplete and if it was Habich's fault for putting Boss in that position in the chase. So,
I mean, we're seeing a lot of these PROSPEC cars. Do you think the horsepower difference from PROSPEC to Pro, do you think that plays a role here? Because we're not seeing them get all the way out there. We've seen a good run again and again. Great way to start it. We started with Josh Love, that independent run. He felt he had it. I mean, he was out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're all on the same size tire, and there could be different kind of mechanical grips between different chassis and what tire pressures they decide to run at, and styles and alignment settings that they prefer. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can change between just horsepower and the tire. So, a lot of different factors.
Yeah, some mistakes made on both sides. Again, this is kind of Maghmoumi and Rahimi. No contact was here, but watch this again.
Yeah, so like we'll look at the Jace's run here. So he initiates over the rumble strips and then kind of reinitiates when he should have been accelerating all the way through that outer zone 1, and that kind of messed up Boss there. So in my eyes, that's kind of on the lead position there, and Boss was 3 tires off on his lead. So like I said, there's no one more times. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one, and I want to hear what their thought process was, because it's gonna be a real close one, I feel.
A very, again, this gets tough. All right, waiting for our verdict and outcome here between Boss and Habich.
There we go.
All right, it looks like Jace Habich will get the win.
Unanimously.
So Jace, unanimously. So Alan Boss goes way off course. Jace did have that mistake on that lead run, and that impeded on Boss, but Boss out front.
That was clear cut.
Yeah.
Complete. Yeah, Jace had, you know.
No one more times.
Right.
You brought that up a couple times, but it bears repeating. We don't want to force it one more time. It's kind of like, you know, no disrespect to Jace and Boss, but who's the better of the bad runs? Like we're splitting hairs here, and we are just progressing with competition.
Boss had the larger mistake.
Yes. Yep. So all right. Now we go on to Lichliter and Louis Lanz. And
another Corvette.
Yep. There we are. So. And Lichliter has progressed, definitely as a driver, feeling confident, always got a great attitude, and just kind of progresses and learns. And Lance definitely has an opportunity here to progress on.
Yeah, Lichliter was looking good in practice, so Lanz is also the same, and got to hand to him for his rookie year in FD here in PROSPEC, and his lights extinguish. Here we go.
All right, here we go. So Lichliter out front, nonstop tuning. Nissan, excuse me, the 86. Now coming out into that first outside zone, and we got 2 tires off, not 3. Definitely gets aggressive. He's ripping through this course.
Yep.
Little straighty there in the outside zone 2. A lot of left foot brake there. You can see again a lot of those guys using that. Now coming at last outside zone, can Lichliter fill it? Lands, you see him. Look at that correction there to massage the car to the side of Lichliter. So.
Oh yeah, Lichliter gave him plenty of opportunity to sneak up on him because he was very shallow in that outer zone 3.
Yeah.
But boy, also Lichliter was flirting with another incomplete there in outer zone 1. There was definitely 2, almost 3, as we take a look at our eye in the sky here as they launch out of the chicane here. Lichliter kind of took a very shallow line than usual, as we've seen so far in the seating bracket. Kind of drawn a different arc there than intended through the outer zone 1. So still complete run as far as we're concerned, and could have been a little deeper here in outer zone 2. Left foot brake into a big flat spot in that right front tire, I'm sure, as Lanz is trying to gain some real estate, get back on that door on Lichliter as they go through outer zone 3. Not very present in outer zone 3, but Lanz does capitalize on that opportunity to gain some proximity. Let's take another look as Lichliter swings it in the outer zone. You can see this arc is just kind of drawn through our outer zone 1 there, and little handbrake through the transition here. And you can see that left foot brake as we saw it live, just putting a flat spot there, like I said, and the non-stop tuning 86 is just bathing Lanz in that GT radial smoke as they come around through here. Lichliter just couldn't quite get further deeper in that outer zone 3, and not sure why, if he just placed the car in the wrong spot to begin with and just couldn't massage it in there. But
like
Lanz definitely has an opportunity in the lead to fill some zones better over Lichliter.
Yeah, and again, to elaborate, I'm talking with Ryan Sage, president of Formula Drift, just about the splitting hairs in those 2 runs. You kind of default to the lead run, who had kind of less mistakes, you know, going back to the boss.
Yeah.
The boss run there of
Habich
and Boss. So, yeah, Jace definitely had a mistake in the lead, but Boss was just all over the course. You know, got into the outside zone 2, got in the dirt, spun, obviously. So that's what it really comes down to. So by default. All right, so Lanz will be out front, Lichliter in the chase position. Let's see what Lewis has got for us. And again, the run-up, we've shortened it, and again, more track being utilized here. So there goes Lewis. Ooh, Lichliter. Lewis throws some angle, more angle at it, and Lichliter looked like had to back off a little bit. Now coming to outside zone 2. Lichliter's really kind of going back and forth, gets into the dirt. That back left, absolutely dust, smoke, all of it. And Lanz gets that. Lanz lands himself in the outside zone 3.
That's what he needed to do right there. That's going to be the big standout for me, is how well he filled out that outer zone 3, because that's a third of the, like, we're scoring, you know, like we were qualifying once. But let's take a look at our Jesse in the sky here as we swing that Corvette into play here, getting in outer zone 1. He flirts with it just a little bit. Alex is right there with him as they swing it around here. Lichliter need to anticipate that transition just a little bit more as Lanz just pours on the throttle there all the way through outer zone 2, and very, very smooth. I really liked what he did here. Lichliter taking out our clipping point, and Lanz just doing a good job out front there. Lichliter just kind of struggling there in the chase position, unfortunately. So Lanz doing a great job. That's what we needed to do over Lichliter's lead run that was missing a few zones there. As the only really big deficit I saw was that outer zone 1. He was just kind of flirting with the 1 tire, but that was a safe way. He made up for it big time in outer zone 2 and 3 in this transition. Just the overall car control, you can tell he's kind of driving it with a little more intent and a little more confidence, if you will. And staying out of the dirt.
Yeah, that dirt, that could eat you up, man. And I'm surprised, you know, we saw it earlier with Boss getting into it, just grabs you.
Yeah,
and,
it doesn't like go.
No. Yeah, can't see if it's a step down, but if drivers continue to do that, it could definitely be more violent. We've seen it at other tracks when you progressively more people go off, and yeah, it could cause damage to your car. All right, so it looks like Lanz will be getting the victory, and like you looked at your crystal ball there, Sopa, and called the right direction there, and the judges agree with you. So Lanz gets the victory and will advance on into tomorrow's main event. All right, next up.
It looks like we got Wills and Jack Davis in the box there warming up those tires, and Wills, he's always been a real treat to watch. He's kind of, one of those wild guys who goes 114%, and now he's got the wing on the back of his car, showing off some more of his style. And Davis, he's
a weapon.
He's a weapon. That's a good way to put it.
He is an absolute weapon in that BMW. I did get a DM from Brian Wills, you know, Nasty Habit Motorsports. He's saying he's down on power, unfortunately. So he just wanted to give us a heads up. It's about 70% working. So just letting everybody know.
That would explain some things I've seen in practice.
Yeah, that could unfortunately really, and you know, with him telling us, I'm sure he probably told Jack, you know, hey, I'm down in power, because you don't want to be a detriment. Like he goes in expecting this big run, but you know, that's what's cool. I love it. It's like a boxing card. We know who you're going to do battle with. They know who they're going to do battle with. So you're watching them during practice. Okay, they're doing this, they're doing that. So hopefully Jack Davis took some notes, and he initiates aggressively behind Brian. That Nasty Habit S chassis now coming into that second outside zone. Look at that. So yeah, this horsepower difference, I think, has really helped Jack Davis get that proximity. But Brian still, with the horsepower deficit, is really throwing down.
You know,
well done, Brian. Horsepower, come on, bro. Like you looked healthy.
He was driving that thing like it was at 100%.
Yeah,
like the angle he was throwing at was not indicative of a car down on horsepower, especially on this initiation. Look at how aggressive it was. doing a good job of filling out our zone 1 for the most part, and Davis there staying right there with him. We kind of expected him to be a little closer, but Wills is putting a good show up front. Could have been a lot more deeper, so a little left foot braking here. But check out this transition to 3, just whipping that S chassis around here, and I don't think Davis didn't expect that, but
yeah.
Also doing a decent job of filling outer zone 3 despite the power loss, and Davis doing a good job of keeping his temperament within the chase there, staying in the frame, staying in the show here. As both of them, look at that, just aggressive. They whip those cars around into the initiation here as they get through. Davis gets through the smoke here in the transition. Good lead up, showing his confidence in that chase, just kind of sneaking up, not just surging and drilling and stabbing into the chase position. Here too, he does a little bit here, but you can only see one big correction, and that was there in the middle of outer zone 3, and he does a good job of just kind of staying in the pocket where he needed to be. And let's see what Davis does with some clean air here.
Yeah, I think Jack Davis did not, again, anticipate that. With Brian Wills, they got the Brian Wills fan club down here next to the judging tower, and they're cheering him on. They got the crew shirts. They're excited, and like you said, Jack, I think maybe had a hard time trusting getting into the pocket. He had that proximity, but ideally gets back further than where he was. But overall, like you said, we'll see how Jack gets and does with that clean air out front. So
yeah, could have fooled me, Wills. Maybe he was just saying he was down on power.
What, you saying he's lying? You call him a liar?
This is what we're gonna do.
No. And again, this is utilize all your resources, and you take note. If you're Jack Davis, you and your team are watching Brian and see how it goes down, because every turn and burn counts. So let's see what we got here. Jack Davis will lead, and Wills will be given chase. Let's see what Jack Davis and Deutschworks BMW up front. Horsepower deficit, as he says, is around about 70%. But Jack Davis, oh boy, that's like the whole car, the whole shebang. This is going to be what I would consider, as long as as Wills doesn't, it should be done. That's it. This is again another.
He's upset. Oh, that's Wills. He might be celebrating.
I don't know.
Wow,
that seemed like an angry, like,
that was so angry.
But
I thought his throttle stuck.
But I don't think he knew that Jack.
Probably not.
So look, like that's a 1, a 2, a 4. That's 8 tires off.
All she wrote.
Yeah, that's all. That's both cars.
They made their own outer zone.
Yeah, Jack just way overkicked it. Go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, besides that, Jack did a great job at the lead position here. Wills, being wild man Wills here, you can see this transition just real snappy with this car, despite the horsepower loss, as he claims anyway. But yeah, maybe that was it. So no chills, Wills. There you go. Loud and proud.
There it is. So there they are. And Jack might have just handed him this victory unofficially. And what's good about that is he'll have some downtime, maybe assess the car or assess where that horsepower loss is.
Yeah, hopefully it's not like, if it's a, well, it's not a less engine. If it's like a valve or something, they can plop one of those on there. No big deal.
Yeah, NBD, Ford guy. Says Ford guy. All right, slide him left for Wills or right for Jack Davis, and here it is. No Chill Wills gets the victory. Ryan Wills gets the win.
Hear that Wills crowd.
Yeah, wow. Where there's a Wills, there's a way. They are way loud. Well done.
And he was way sideways, man.
All right, well, we'll take a short break. When we come back, the action continues here in Utah.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the two abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift. The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise, Sony Mobile ES.
Been in the pursuit of one thing.
Yeah, awesomeness.
You knew my father?
We all used to race together.
It's an invitation from Dr. Synth.
The age of human driving must come to an end. I propose we settle this once and for all with a simple challenge.
Let's see how Team Grip does against a racing model, the Synth Supreme.
New Grip series. Check it out at toyota.com/grip. Little anime. I mean, Toyota, it's hand in hand. It makes sense. So cool. So be sure to check that out. Toyota.com/grip. A Toyota story, season 1 out now. All right, we continue on with the action. Almost halfway through. All right, we got Tyler Foley and Maghmoumi.
Maghmoumi,
I apologize.
I only see one car in the box here, Jared.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, is right
here. Foley's not in the building. So Maghmoumi will be moving on. This is, again, his progression as a driver has definitely just grown. Going from that one series, that car's hard to drive, and now the E36, great car. So this will be a bye run for Maghmoumi. Again, Farouk will advance on. So this is a bye run for Maghmoumi due to Tyler Foley's absence here in Utah. Also after this was to be Farouk Kawai, but because of his positioning, he does not have to complete his run. We'll see him tomorrow in 32.
That's a thoroughbred BMW there.
It's a thoroughbred. Yeah, it's rowdy. Definitely a rowdy BMW. Those E36s got a lot of parts, a lot of components. All right, so we are more than halfway through our seating brackets here and for Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. So, like I said, more than halfway through. Taking a look at the schedule. Pro seating bracket begins at 6 o'clock, so considerable amount of time in between. So if you're here in the building, be sure to high-five your favorite drivers, crew, team members, visit the booths, and support the drifters out there, the companies that support drifting as well. All right, this is how things are shaping up. Those with the yellow names have advanced on just outside of Farouk Kawai. Again, just with his not having to run the bye run, he will advance on. We'll see him tomorrow as we follow Maghmoumi back to the pits when we go to the start line. This is Richard Advani and Kelsey Rowlings.
I got to hand it to Advani. He hasn't driven a lot this year. He's been kind of putting things together here and there. And looking at his practice, man, look out.
On it.
Yeah, he could be one of those sleeper cells I've been talking about. He might surprise us. I'm hoping.
Let's see what we got here. Yeah, and Kelsey Rowlings currently sitting 11th in the championship. So, her best finish yet. She needs to get past Advani, as you said. Dialing it in, Advani, I know he dropped a valve, had some issues, but looks like the car is back up and running. Hits that dirt, taps in. Kelsey Rowlings just in it right now. Back there quite a bit. Gotta be blinded by the smoke here, but still powers through. Have to take a look on how aggressive Advani was in that lead position. Definitely outside zone 2. You saw the dust go flying, but how surprised that didn't affect the car as little as it did.
Yeah, I don't feel like there was any, obviously there's no ill intent, but there's nothing that could have disrupted the chase. You know, look at how wide he would go into the outer zone run there. Filling it for the most part. Came out of it a little early. Kelsey kind of getting lost in there, gets a piece of the rumble strip. Had to reinitiate.
Oh,
I feel like that was kind of very independent there on Kelsey's part. And Advani slowly massaging it deeper into outer zone 2 as he transitions very nice into 3. But he slowly kind of reels back out of it. Kelsey trying to make up some real estate there through the finish line. So Advani doing a great job in the lead. Kelsey just a little bit of failure after the outer zone 1 here. She probably got lost in the smoke, like you said. He kind of had a different spot in transition versus other drivers that she might not have been used to. So it's not an incomplete, but there's definitely a deficit in her chase position with that mistake as they round out into outer zone 3 here as Advani completes his run out front.
But what's your take on Advani? I think that he was thrown off because he left outside zone 1 early, and timing-wise, that's why he went in the dirt early, and he absolutely missed all of outside zone 2. Advani in that lead position.
Was it missed? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean he missed outside zone 2 as this losing the bumper there. We'll take a look at it again.
Yeah, maybe we can get that truth serum up there again.
So Kelsey makes her way back to the start line. We'll see if she's.
Yeah, they'll probably have to do a little bumper delete.
Yep. Yeah, I know Advani, you know, he was telling me at the previous PROSPEC round, they were done with their pre-race checklist and the car lit up, no oil pressure, and yeah, had to pull it. So it's good to see Advani back here in competition. All right, let's see. Take off.
Yeah, I was gonna say Advani, he's aggressive, but he almost shows like he has no mechanical sympathy, but that message there, he's like, yeah, I got some.
Yeah. All right, back to the start line. Kelsey will now lead. Advani chasing her down. Again, 11th in the standings. Congratulations to her. Could be her best finish yet. And we are clear to send. Kelsey now with the clean air. And Advani, see if he can tighten it up here in that chase position. And away they go. See this run up here. Let's see what Kelsey's got for us. And initiates both of them identical. Kelsey rolling low. Advani way overcooks it in that chase position. Yeah, that's, oh man, look at that. The car getting absolutely wonky there in that second outside zone. Kelsey goes way off. So a mistake on both sides. You know, and Advani having that mistake in the chase position, but Kelsey, you know, she was on an outside zone 1, but 2 way off. So
very independently, and I'd like to see if Advani was in fact 3. I couldn't tell from that angle, because if it was 3, then they both got huge mistakes. That's gonna be a tough call.
It's a wash.
We don't do one more time.
Wash.
We can't. There's no washing. So there's 1, 2. Yeah, that's 3 for Advani there.
4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So timing-wise, everything off there for Advani, but so notably watch Kelsey.
Yeah, so she was in the zone, out of the zone, fully off track, off trail, and then Advani taking the pass there as they go through outer zone 3 here. So interesting to see what the judge is going to say about that.
All right, so that second run was an absolute wash. So I assume you're going to have to default back to the lead run and the first run of Advani and Rowlings. There it is, yeah. And that's what I assume, but we're going to officially have Brian Eggert on the headset here. The second run?
Yeah, the second run was a wash. Both drivers didn't complete it on their own. If you go back to the first run, Kelsey did have a large straighten that happened between outer zone 1 and outer zone 2, and it kind of falls into the lines of the 1 Formula Drift time frame, so that kind of incompleted her run. Yeah. So Advani was the only judged run we were able to use, which was his lead, and so he gets the win.
Very good.
Absolutely what I had anticipated. So Advani there, yeah, filling all that zone.
Now that we can see this is outer zone 2, so
So watch this, look. Yeah. He
Where
barely.
was I looking? He got back in it, right? Yeah, he massaged it back in there.
Again, the famous words, not the prettiest, but it was better. It was better than it was. So, all right. Unfortunately, pretty Ricky Hoffman not in the building. So Casey Cole will get a bye run. So Casey Cole in the burnout box, that M-Spec Performance S chassis. So this will be a bye run for Casey
free lap. I didn't get a chance to talk to a spotter, but looks like he had some dialing to do during practice, so I'm hoping fully utilizes this to get ready for comp tomorrow.
Let's see what we got here. Layout listen for Casey Cole.
Announcer's curse struck. Hopefully there's no damage done to Casey Cole's car there, and they can come back swinging tomorrow for our top 32.
There it is, Casey Cole will have a bye run. Looks like we got 5 more battles left here in our PROSPEC seating. Some big names coming up. Got Knapik, Heishman, and we got Bystrak and Brutskiy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Bystrak kind of put a funny video out of him and Brutskiy with the Rocky video.
Oh, really?
Pretty entertaining, yeah.
Alex Jagger, Chris Leonard. I feel like Jagger's got something to prove after E-Town, you know, basically his home track, overcooked it. But then you got Lee Yearwood and Stubstad, then Clark Hatton and Dempster, Cody Dempster. All right, here we go. Heishman and Knapik. Again, a lot of eyeballs on Knapik as well. Seems like he's got the car, just sometimes just gets what I would call just the yips, just small little mistakes, just contributes. All right, here we go. So again, Adam out front, Knapik in the chase position. Oh boy, there it is. Knapik comes out of drift, straightens out in that chase position. We'll see if, wow, yeah, really kind of fighting the car there in the chase. Adam.
Kind of fighting his car during practice here too, but yeah, Knapik. Yeah, let's see if we can dissect this, Jared. We got 2 Adams on track. Let's see which one.
Oh man, Adam's gonna win, but Adam's gonna lose. Oh man, that is definitely a bummer. So let's see.
All right, so Heishman throwing that LS Mustang into outer zone 1. Kind of, big contact there, and Heishman carrying it through. I'm not sure what was going through Knapik, if he expected a little more momentum going into outer zone 1. I didn't feel like Heishman was intentionally slowing down or
little kind of correction.
A little bit, but nothing that, you know, made his car look like it was disrupted or slowing down in any way where it should be. So yeah, I'd have to put that on Knapik being just a little bit too aggressive in my own humble opinion.
Yeah, just initiated, came out of it, went into him. Yeah, that's so. Let's see who's at fault here. Going, judges assessing. All right, so yeah. So no incomplete. So did finish it out. I mean, there's a big correction there from Knapik in the chase. Then you saw how much he was struggling with his car outside zone 3. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if that's contributed to that contact. I kind of missed that contact when we were doing it live, so surprised he doesn't want to take a look at his car. Maybe Max is gonna put some eyes on it.
Yeah. Hopefully just aesthetic, but you know, here's Heishman, who might be wanting to take a look at his car too. He took it pretty hard on that.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he doored him, but
yep.
Looks straight from here.
Yep, looks good. Send him. Let's see.
Maybe he's trying to delete a bumper. Maybe a cone stuck in there.
All right, but Heishman's still over there. Might.
Yeah, maybe he wants some time.
All right, getting to the bottom of it. That front right. Saying turn, see.
Yep, wheels still turn.
But Heishman, like I said, took that hit.
Yeah, I wish I could see the door, the driver's side of that Mustang to see we can investigate.
I think he's. All right, Knapik is calling a competition timeout. So take a look, assess the car, and all right. So looks like All right. So it looks like a competition timeout called by Knapik. So as the action continues here for PROSPEC, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. The action continues here at Utah Motorsports Campus.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Is this it?
This is it!
Seattle! Let's party! 2, 1.
Oh boy. Brandon Sahar. We get to talk. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest, specifically Seattle. We're going to head north a little bit to Monroe, Washington, Evergreen Speedway. The fans are excited. Larry Chen and I, Type S Night Lights, we're about to send it here in Seattle. Oh my gosh, showing up to Seattle, getting picked up. Whammo! Dr. Chen, medicine woman.
What's up?
You ready to party?
I'm so ready.
How much do you love Seattle?
I love the car scene here. It's really, really different for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's like a mix.
Because we're close to Canada. We're close to Canada, so we get Canadian stuff. But look at the Lolos behind us. But there's lowriders right there. to Type S Night Lights. Larry Chen, this is your party, baby.
I figured, you know what? I think it's time to host a meet here.
Yes.
Just to check out some of the local cars before the event here in Seattle.
So this is like the Type S casting couch. Let's just call it what it is. Couple guys left. Keep it creepy. Make some noise for Larry Chen, Type S. Thank you, Type S Night Lights.
There's the variety of cars and the enthusiasm for all types of cars. Rally is huge up here. Drifting is huge up here. It's great. I love coming up here to shoot all the interesting builds.
This you? This you? Why is Pacific Northwest car culture different than everywhere else?
There's drifting within 4 hours of wherever you live.
Okay, right.
So Park, Monroe, Spokane, all those places.
You love the family that is within drifting and motorsports.
Yeah, the satisfaction that what I've built could also provide some sort of happiness.
Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. Just get off the golf course? You look great. Why this car for you?
I just have a lot of memories as a kid.
What would you say Pacific Northwest automotive enthusiasts are different from any area of the country?
And I've seen way more classic cars, especially Japanese, than anywhere else in the country. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's kick off a weekend here in Seattle, Pacific Northwest, Formula Drift, round 6. Let's party. Send it. These are what we've been having fun this season, Send It series, and just cutting into the culture, the vibes, just the essence of every stop of 8. So shoot another one here in Utah. So tune in, go to Formula Drift's YouTube now and watch Send It in Seattle. Not sleepless. We're not. I mean, we're kind of sleepless. We work. Bystrak and Brutskiy. This should be a good one.
Yes,
this,
I'm looking forward to this.
Anticipated. Here we go. Bystrak out front. Brutskiy in that chase position, and this is an interesting position for Brutskiy as Bystrak throws into the outside zone. Set it and does not forget it into that second outside zone. Look at that, a lot of handbrake into the second outside zone. The momentum bringing him now into outside zone 3. Brutskiy still part of the conversation. Brutskiy then gets in probably the latter portion of that outside zone 3. You can see him kind of flirting with the outside edge and then dips that back tire in. Take a look at a different perspective.
Yeah, I really like Bystrak's approach here. It was nice and aggressive. I love seeing the smoke on the opposite drift for the flick in there. Did get 2 tires off there, flirt with that incomplete. We've been seeing a lot today. Brutskiy could have been a little better on anticipating the transition. Bystrak trying to massage it back in outer zone 2 here as he flip brakes there and keep it in play. Another opportunity for Brutskiy here to anticipate that transition a little sooner, but he does make up for it in the later half of outer zone 3. Now, if we take a look from outer zone 1 to 2 on Bystrak's lead here, I really like how the car still looked fast, even though we saw that handbrake, Jared, as you mentioned during it live, so you can see it there, pulled there. Like I said, almost 3 there off, and from the transition, you can see the handbrake pulled there, but the car just kind of floated in there and didn't look like it disrupted as much as you would think, pulling that much handbrake. So he's back on throttle here, getting that transition to outer zone 3, does a good job of keeping his composure and get it back deeper in outer zone 3 without making it look like it was a mistake. Kind of recovered really well. I liked what he did there, along with Brutskiy's job in the chase. And it didn't look like he was trying to make it obvious that he was trying to catch up and stuff. He made it look good.
Kind of seamless.
Yeah, good word.
Just got a message from Mr. Tyler Foley. He's at home working on his car. He says, man, gutted, love to be there, but just unfortunately just couldn't swing at this event. And he says, you know what, just motivation to come back next year stronger. Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Yeah, he was really coming into his own this
Foley.
year. Like, I was really impressed with him this season.
So just shout him out. He works on his car. Again, a lot of these guys do it for the love of the game and for the glory of victory. All right, so speaking of victory, are we going to see a victor between Bystrak and Brutskiy? Remember, we'll revisit Heishman and Knapik after their contact. Knapik calling that comp timeout. And it looks like restart.
Ooh.
Got a restart, so Brutskiy left the line.
Pump the brakes.
You what?
I don't know.
Yeah, he rolled and left the line a little early.
Nerves.
He wasn't settling. He never settled. You can't tell a man to just settle.
that caliber. It's on his car. He's like, no, I'm not settling. I'm going to keep going.
You can never settle, but you can chill also.
Yeah. Non-stop tuning, never settle. Zero chill wills. All right, here we go. Brutskiy and Bystrak. Looks like we got a clean start on our hands. Who's advancing on? Who's moving on? Got a multiple PROSPEC champion in Brutskiy. Double dipping. And now transitions into the outside zone 2. Bystrak, great chase job there. Look at very confident. Backs off just as I say that. Now the outside zone 2. Look at Brutskiy filling all outside zone 2. Very fluid. Into outside zone 3. Brutskiy. I mean, this is...
Nice.
Oh, Bystrak.
That's what we needed to see.
Yes, now we're getting a little taste of what we'd like to see in head-to-head.
Yes, Bystrak needed to do that in the chase. That was awesome. Like, you can see a little stab there in the outer zone 2, which we'll cover, but he really made up for it in outer zone 3. Check out Brutskiy. I don't know if he looked down and doing some tuning on the run-up, but he still came up a little, almost came up short in outer zone 1. Got a tire dipped in there. Look at Bystrak's anticipation here with the transition. Here you go. Here's with the stab. I think you just, from this perspective, now you can see how shallow he was in outer zone 2 compared to Brutskiy. But look at that transition, just mimicking it, getting right in that pocket and staying right there all the way through the finish and getting a little boop, bumper to bumper action there.
Boop to the snoot.
Yeah, that was a good one. I really like that from Bystrak there as we take another look into outer zone 1 as a transition. You look at him come out of that smoke, that was best transition into 1 and 2 and the chase position we've seen all day in the seeding competition. So here we go. Coming out of outer zone 2, Bystrak again out of the smoke and getting right into that pocket, kind of just easing into there deeper and deeper as they get through outer zone 3 and through the finish. Great job by Bystrak. I think that was what he needed to do to win over the judges.
Is that enough? What do you think?
Am I allowed to? Let's see.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet. All right, here's our BC Racing Go for Gold. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. All right.
Yeah, let's check it out here. You can see Bystrak had a much more aggressive initiation here, filling up the zone. He did drop that tire. I don't know if that's going to be enough of a deficit to lead it to Brutskiy's way, but Bystrak is also in outer zone 2, a little less than Brutskiy. Brutskiy just not performing as well in the chase as Bystrak. Both very smooth drivers. It's going to be a tough one to call. Remember, we don't have any one more time. This is the first time we've had like a really good battle that could be potentially a one more time.
It's deserving of it.
Yeah, very good.
As opposed to a lackluster and like who's slightly better of the bad runs.
Less mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't any huge mistakes beside that one tire by Bystrak, but I feel like Bystrak did a great job showing up in the chase position.
Yeah, and he knows who he's going against. Like I said, you
got to show up.
Yeah, you got to show up. Brutskiy double dipping, slide left for Bystrak or right for Dmitry. Brutskiy gets the victory. And we haven't heard from Big Vern over here. Vernon, a good chase job there by Bystrak, but overall, Brutskiy, your consensus?
Both of them had some corrections, but we do think that the better lead came from Brutskiy, so therefore we all went with Dmitry.
All right. Thank you for the clarification there from Vernon. So again, good chase job, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
All right, Alex Jagger, Chris Leonard. This should be a fun one. You got your Mustang boy against Alex Jagger, who is just a very talented driver. That new Steal It, the gray, looking good in the dub gray, as Alex will be leading. And chasing down him will be Leonard. Here we go into that first outside zone. Looks like right on the course edge. That Steal It Nissan 370Z. Leonard very shallow with the angle, but Jagger puts it in there, really dialed. Oh, gets into the dirt, drops dirt.
Or is he?
Oh, buddy. And Jagger now to that last outside zone. So definitely, obviously got the tire into the dirt, maybe two. I think that threw off Leonard. So
yeah, big time. Leonard was doing a good job of attacking there in the chase position until Jagger went off there in outer zone 2, but check out the flick of the wrist here from Jagger going to outer zone 1. I thought he was going to overcook it. Leonard keeping his composure here. You can kind of tell he's setting up his attack for that transition. He did a good job reeling him in. Outer zone 2 is looking good by both gentlemen here. Left foot braking a lot from Jagger, and he probably should have stayed on that left foot brake because it came off there. I don't know if that's going to be a huge deficit in the lead position, and it really messed up our chase driver, Mr. Chris Leonard, in that Mustang, and he could never recover. So if that's judges are going to put that on the lead driver, I'd like to think so, but it's up to them. Take another look here as we round out outer zone 1. Leonard coming through that smoke here. As you can see, this left foot brake just about halfway through the outer zone 2 is Jagger. There's 1.
It looked like cut 1.
It looked like it was just 1. Flirting with 2, but Leonard keeping his composure in the chase, filling out that outer zone 3. I think that was a good move on him, not trying to like cut beeline into the door of Jagger by cutting the line severely. So good on him on keeping that temperament.
Leonard, you saw Leonard with kind of lack of angle, and he did beeline in the outside zone 2.
Yep.
Then so kind of again that perfect storm, as I call it. So this is going to be the deciding run here, obviously. So Leonard will lead, Jagger chasing him down. Let's see what kind of attitude we see here from Leonard now that he's up front. As we say, got the clean air. Seemed like he was struggling a little bit in that chase, and then insult to injury there, just getting some dirt in his face. Clean up outside zone 2, bringing some dirt onto the track. All right, so contact without utilizing their competition timeout. So contact without an incomplete. So both of them get a complimentary 5.
Yeah.
So they'll assess the car, take a look at it. So you could see Leonard pulling off, backing off, and there goes Jagger.
So then our next battle will be Yearwood and Stubstad, which interesting lineup here. Stubstad kind of came into his own in St. Louis. Kind of surprised us all. He was kind of battling some car issues earlier in the season, and Yearwood always a big showman here in PROSPEC. I'm excited to see those guys battle it out. So we hopefully are putting them in the box right now.
I believe we're going back to the second half of Heishman and Knapik.
Well, color me corrected.
Yep, that's where we're at. So everybody in yellow advances on. So. Unfortunately, those names in white are watching from the sidelines here. Keep in mind, this is a final round, and as Irwindale, it's final round for pro, but we are round 7, but this is round 4 of the PROSPEC Championship.
And we always talk about the weight of each round here. It's, with the points this close between Sullivan and Lemaire, it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. All right. So here again is that second half we talked about. We saw that contact. Little out of shape, Knapik, but let's see. Knapik will now be up front. Seemed like he was having a hard time keeping it sideways in that chase position, but now out front might have some more confidence.
Yeah, kind of lawn darted the door of that Mustang.
Got a little T-bone steak, cheese, egg, and Welch's grape. Here we go, and Knapik, Donut Media, S chassis out front. Heishman in the chase. And Knapik whipping out of the start chicane. Now coming in hot into that first outside zone. Looks like a lot more comfortable there. Heishman getting on the rumble strip, so taking a shallower line. Now Knapik has found the sauce. Look at that. So again, that car just squatting all over the track. That good overhead shot showing you exactly where that car needs to be. So
yeah, the only
whatever he knocked loose seemed to work out for Knapik. So let's take a look at it here again.
Yeah, had me a little scared there, Jared, because going into outer zone 1, it looking pretty shallow here, as we'll probably see it from overhead. Looked like he was still bad on those issues, but then the car just all of a sudden came alive again as we look at Knapik here just roasting those GT radials. Left foot brake. He's like, I think I'm coming in too hot. No, let me correct it again. He did fill that outer zone 1 really well here. So the rest of this run, just check this out. More left foot braking from Knapik, and Heishman trying to gain up that real estate as they get through outer zone 2. Knapik leaving there a little early, transitioning in a little wider spot than most people have been, but he does do a good job of filling the outer zone 3. As Heishman is still in frame there, trying to make up some ground here as we take another look from our airforce.com replay. Knapik, little correction there. Nothing too deem an incomplete or anything, but something to consider as Heishman is grabbing a little handbrake there, trying to gain some proximity on Knapik as they round out into outer zone 3. Decent mimicking the transition. He's just a little further back in that chase position of Heishman as Knapik is doing a good job keeping it smooth through outer zone 3. But now we got to look at that first run and kind of think what's going to go here.
There's a few runs ago, you know, where Heishman initiates, Knapik, Squirrely Dan in the back, and then Heishman continues on, you know, and again, Knapik having some issues, but like I said, that clean air, whatever he knocked loose, definitely ended up working out for him. Donut, Optima batteries.
This might be too little too late though, so let's take a look at the side-by-side here. We get a look at that first run from a while ago here on the left side as Heishman initiates. Not as much momentum as Knapik had, but then he looked like he was on the throttle, but he gave him that little boop. I feel like Knapik came out of drift there as Heishman finished out the course, just very shallow in all the rest of the zones here. As you can see on the right side, Heishman's trying to play catch up as Knapik showed us how it was done in the lead position when Heishman here was just a few yards short of the outer zone there in 2 and 3. So let's see what the judges have to say about this battle.
All right, see some drivers in the burnout box. Don't know if that's...
Now, that might be Yearwood and Stubstad.
Yeah. Very well could, so all right. Just a few more battles left. And here we are. Slide him left for Heishman, a right for Knapik. Looks like Knapik gets a 1, a 2, and a 3 votes. Knapik gets the victory, taking out Heishman. So
you got time to maybe hear Eggert's weigh in on that? Kind of interesting on that call, that first
Brian
run.
Eggert would love to hear from you on that call after, again, absorbing both those runs. All right, Robin Ishida, please elaborate. Vernon, okay, one of you guys.
You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah. All right, so again, Vern, if you could elaborate, please.
Ready.
Go for it.
Thank you. With Heishman in the lead, for me it was already an unchaseable run because he was very tentative on initiation. He was not on throttle until half of the zone, so it was already done for me at that moment. So yeah, that was why we all were in agreement and go with Adam Knapik.
So Heishman kind of impeded on Knapik's performance and threw him off.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so we said, park it, bud, you're done.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Moving on to, this is the Yearwood Stubstad battle. And Yearwood part of the Nappy Boy crew now, which is pretty cool. And here we go, Stubstad in that Nissan 350Z, BMW of Yearwood out front. Let's see how he initiates, how he handles this. Whoa, buddy.
He's got the DB there.
Oh, that back right. Maybe. Let's take a look at Stubstad. Oh, there it is. Bye. Yep. Exit the tire. So, yeah, unfortunately, Yearwood, you called it. So on initiation, that sidewall said peace.
Yeah, those sidewalls on that 35 series aren't very thick. Hopefully that's just dirt coming out of that thing. Yeah, that's just dirt and dust.
Yeah.
I got me scared there for a second. I thought it was smoke.
Right rear. So yeah, unfortunately, right there, you called it right on initiation. That's why you overcooked it.
That was a killer initiation. I'll give him that. I don't know if it was a chaseable lead run or not, but well, obviously, I think it was because our buddy Stubstad was right there with him. Ricky getting those. Just add it to the stack, bud. Right behind you.
All right, so again, Yearwood is out, and that will mean he can't.
Stubstad gets a bye.
Yeah, Stubstad gets a bye run, unfortunately for Yearwood. What a bummer for him. The Nappy Boy BMW, just with him DB, didn't look like he hit anything, and there was no contact. So independently losing the tire. So while we clean up, let's take a look at Kevin's Corner up in Seattle.
My name is Kevin Wells, Competition Director of Formula Drift. We're out here to sold out round 6 in Seattle, and we're here with Matt Sofa, and he's going to start it off.
Let's go.
Oh, she's stanced. Is it shock fluid?
Shock fluid, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to roll on here?
We'll have to put a skid underneath it, just let it hit back against the car wall and drag her on. Muscled it off the wall, just barely. You were pinned, that's for sure.
Need to pull the brake or what?
These skates are wider, man. Hell shit. Yeah, she's walking pretty good.
We saw just plastic fly everywhere.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I tried to save it, but something felt weird when I came off the bank and it threw a bunch of angle. And I hit the outer 3 and it messed me up. I almost zeroed, but I think I saved it.
Yeah.
So complete a run at least.
Got a jack stand somewhere? Oh, fold the tabs in?
Yeah, right here, the tabs are in, so even if we do get it out, we won't be able to get a new one in.
You can't bend that tab back?
No.
No back is out. All right, ready? Doing it.
Look at that guy. When I'm born again, I want to be him. I want to be him. I want to be him.
I bet.
Chrome gym suit.
I bet he would rather be you driving a Ferrari. just throwing it out there.
Ciao. That's pretty damn thin.
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, that's probably chrome moly. So.
Right, but still, it's just very thin for something that doesn't necessarily need to be that way.
Right, well, especially to dissipate heat.
Yeah.
So what happened today?
Well, let's start off with a good thing. Yesterday, we killed it in the seating bracket. We won. So we got our first official battle win yesterday, and then topped it off with winning the seating bracket. So I was stoked.
5 minutes!
Touched a tire on the wall, and it just pulled the whole car in, and we've had to replace every corner of the car pretty much, and now we're rolling into this, and it's not looking great for us.
You're going to be all right?
We're not going to make it.
Oh, okay.
Where the cock well.
I'm guessing the exhaust. I'm guessing just the exhaust brake. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But they're already here, which means you already called your car. I can't be like, oh, never mind, now that you look at it, go back. You know what I mean? Exhaust broke?
Yeah.
What do you need? What do you need? Tell him not to touch it, or come here.
All right, well, we saw there in the bottom right-hand corner, Yearwood looked like he did a dirt drop, and that affected his tire. So, unfortunately for him, you know, this is his last run. You know, it's kind of,
that was it.
Very sad little teardrop there, because everybody who was, DB'd under his own power.
Yeah, it looks like he was having a real wide initiation, almost taking out that one cone. You can see right there, big pop. And end of story.
So it's just a little sad, you know.
I mean, it's a game of
everybody who
inches.
loses, it's their last run of the season.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
5, man.
But
DB'd with contact with car and
the course didn't, like the regular course didn't cost the DB is what I think you're getting at.
Yeah, tire DB'd rule, so under his own power. There it is. Rear tires required to make 2 consecutive runs. Timing maybe changed in a comp timeout, only allowed if DB due to contact, and he was independent. So if changed, both competitors can change the tires, but the situation was Yearwood goes off, tire DBs, he's out.
Independent.
So so Stubstad will take his bye run and complete this, and he will advance on. So again, congrats to Mr. Stubstad. Lay back and listen, making sure his car is up to snuff, and he will rip on through. All right, there it is. Stubstad advances on. We have 1.5 battles left. Alex Jagger, Chris Leonard, and then we got Hatton and Dempster. It's always a fun one to say. Dempster.
Dempster. I believe Hatton came up and told us something about his clutch. You recall what he said?
Oh, clutch is out.
Yeah.
Lost it.
He lost it. I asked him if he found it. It didn't go over well.
Dad joke to a young man. Just did not land. All right, so there, yeah. So it looks like Dempster will get a bye run, and that's how it's going to shape up. So essentially, half a battle left, and then a bye run, and we will have completed our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship seeding.
Yeah, this is our last seeding bracket ever of the season for ProSpec.
It's last seeding you're announcing. It's okay, bud. Don't cry.
We still got tomorrow.
That's true. Well, seeding bracket I meant.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the second half of this battle. Let's see what we got. All right, so Leonard pulling up to the line. Jagger, light him up just a little more heat.
Where's the wrap it up?
More heat on the feet. Wrap it up, fam. And that Steal It, great looking Nissan 370Z. And here we go. So Leonard will be up front, him and his lovely bride expecting their first child very soon. So looking forward to that. As we see Leonard out front and Jagger in the chase position. Running right now, Jagger, I feel, is going to really apply the pressure here. Both good initiation. Leonard into the outside zone. Comes out a little way early. And now in that second outside zone, Jagger looks like he makes a correction. So very similar to what Leonard did. Definitely want to get that overhead shot. That's going to be really telling of what went down here. Now in this last outside. Oh, no! Oh, no, that is not the way you want to go.
Man, did a tie rod snap?
Yeah,
that was aggressive.
That just snapped right.
Uh-oh, look, I can't quite see that right there. Can you see that, Jared, if it's pointing the different direction?
The front left, it looks like.
No, they're both parallel.
Oh, no, man.
That's a bummer.
Oh, gutted. Oh man, we're gonna we're gonna revisit it, but here let's look.
Let's see how shallow Leonard was here, like you were saying here. I like the aggression. You can see right there the car bit and straightened out left outer zone one early, and Jagger almost did a one formula drifting complete there as he gained some ground on Leonard out front. But let's see if we can see what happened here. I don't know if he grabbed. I don't know what.
That was wild.
That's peculiar for sure. Taking a look here, Leonard, you can see where that car just grabs that rear end and throws him almost straight. And then Jagger trying to make up some ground here. His left foot braking from Leonard, going through that outer zone 2. Good advantage here from a viewpoint. Let's see what happened with Jagger and that smoke. Now we're going back to the sky here, so it's going to be the same story. Still not mystery solved there.
Yeah.
As he ends up on the beach there. It's a bummer.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Jagger, but let's take a look at this first run too. Got both the spotters and both the drivers just doing kind of the, I don't know, man. So
we got Jagger out front first on the left here is Leonard's trying to run him down there in outer zone 1, and Leonard did a good job here. Does also straighten to gain up some ground. Jagger did a good job left foot braking. Could have been a little deeper than outer zone 2, but here's the mistake on Jagger coming up soon, and a little contact there from Leonard, but he does stay in frame and in the game for the most part in the chase position. But Jagger kind of had his own little independent incomplete there in the chase position, so that's, as far as I can deduce, all on him.
Okay, waiting for the outcome here, and we will see our final, what was intended to be a battle of, again, Hatton and Dempster. Unfortunately, Hatton, as you say, lost his clutch, can't find it, not able to put it back in, and slide him left for Jagger or right for Chris Leonard. Looks like Chris Leonard gets the victory. You know, that just, I would love to know. I'll definitely have some words with Jagger. Definitely a talented driver. Had a bit of bad luck, man. So
still nothing from the spotters, giving us the same shrugs. Man.
This will be Cody Dempster for our final run. So we'll lay out, listen, big nasty Corvette here. Part of the team Infamous, coming to us from St. Louis. So this is Dempster for our final run of our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship seeding brackets. Tomorrow we will see the competition, and there will be a champion. We'll have our banquet tomorrow night here on site to celebrate all the drivers and, of course, notably the champion. It's really coming down to TLO. Mathematically, Mata's still involved, but TLO and Osoli Sullivan separated by 2 points. Osoli leading the pack, but here we go with Dempster, the Fuel Lab Technologies Corvette coming out swinging. We'll lay out and listen. Well, there it is. So Dempster will advance on. He's kicking that clutch, man. That just going for it. Well, Matt Sopa, thank you so much for joining me. You go back to the line here for pro seeding bracket, which begins at 6 o'clock. If you're live here in venue, 4:30 practice. And this is how the bracket is shaping up here in our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. So the drivers advancing on will backfill the other 16 that are already pre-seeded. Pro a little different. We backfill with 8 drivers. So
right.
Yep.
And a little more bragging rights to win that bracket too in the pro.
Yeah. So we'll have our pregame show with the Teal Took, the Zapper, Tatty Zapper, Jacob Gettins, the Diesel Blower, barbecue bruiser, all that. All right, so we got a title on the line. So Osoli and TLO, 2 points separate them. Again, mathematically, something crazy would need to happen to those 2 drivers for Mata. 74 points behind the leader, as well as Buchanan. Buchanan's back there as well. So Buchanan and Mata mathematically, but all eyes are on TLO and Osoli. That's just talking about ProSpec. We'll get into the pro. Again, at 5:30, we'll have our pregame show, and then 6 o'clock is our live stream of the pro seating bracket. Matt Sopa, thank you so much, brother.
No, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
We'll see you soon. I'll be down there. You'll be up here.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Matt Sopa. Thank you to our judges, Vernon, Robbie, and Brian Egger. Thank you to Ryan Sage for just looking so darn good. And we'll be back here live local time in about 2.5 hours. Thank you so much. Round 4 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship seating bracket is a wrap.
Get back when I feel like you know I don't play right. Fight. Just give me the word. You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like you know I don't play. Put up a good fight. Just give me the fight. Damn right. You know I play right. I don't play it right. Never go slow, walk apart like a rhino. Rhino. Never go slow, walk apart like a rhino. Stop on the cover. We gotta live pronto. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like Rondo. Never stop on the cover. We gotta live pronto. Your friends like